What's going on, guys? Back with another mock draft. This one is going to be a pure Eagles mock draft, so it's going to go through rounds 1 through 7, just the Eagles. This is going to be a little different than the first one. This is going to be what I think the Eagles 100% should do. There's certain things that I don't think will happen in this draft. NFL Mock Draft Network, NFL Draft Network is not the most accurate display. Sometimes things happen that shouldn't happen. You occasionally see players go way too early or way too late. So I'm going to go off what the draft goes with, though. So, if players are available that should have been gone in the top 10, I'm going to draft them because they're available. I'm not going to skip on somebody just because I don't think they'll be there. I'm going to go along with the draft. It should be pretty good, though. Let's hope it's a good one. Rounds 1 through 7, NFL mock draft. Let's get right into it. First off, in the first round, the Eagles have 3 picks, 15, 16, and 19. That came from the Dolphins, the Eagles, obviously, and then the pick from the Colts. I believe the Colts pick is the 16th, the Dolphins was the 15th, and then 19th was the Eagles. You have 3 first-round picks. I think you can spread those apart with different positions, maybe a wide receiver. You definitely don't need a quarterback this year. Quarterbacks are not great this year. Kenny Pickett's probably the best one, but you don't really have a great number one guy that you want, like a Joe Burrow or anything like that, or Justin Herbert. So I don't think you go quarterback this one, even if I don't think Jalen Hurts is necessarily the answer. I think he deserves another year, 100%. I don't think he is the answer, but I do think he deserves another year. But I think you can go corner, wide receiver, even interior offensive line. It's kind of a big need coming up because Jason Kelsey is kind of an unknown still. Brandon Brooks retired, we know that. You have Landon Dickerson, who looked amazing. Jack Driscoll has been good, but has kind of been unable to stay healthy these last couple seasons. If he's healthy, I think he's a future right guard starter. But I think that center spot is still kind of open. Do you want Isaac Seumalo moving over from left guard to center when he's healthy? I don't know. He's not amazing, but he's good. I think Landon Dickerson was amazing and should not play center. I think he is perfect at left guard. You have Jordan Mailata set up there. You don't really need the tackles. You really need the interior offensive line. But I also think wide receiver and corner are going to be huge needs. Safety even. Kevon Wallace hasn't really worked out too well. He's been a good special teamer. That's about it, though. Hasn't really worked out too well. Linebacker is also a need. Not a huge one. Is not as big of a need as people think so. Davion Taylor was hurt last year. He looked really good. TJ Edwards has been amazing. Not amazing linebacker, but amazing compared to what he was last year and the years prior. Both of them have been good. I think they're serviceable. I don't think they're amazing. I like the experiment with Eric Wilson. It just didn't work out. Shit happens. But I like the fact that we took that risk on him. We've now went 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I haven't started the video. So let's actually get into this. First round, first pick, back-to-back picks. I'm going to give them Devin Lloyd. I don't think the Eagles will go with a linebacker in the first round. I think they should. I think it's definitely something they should do, but we've seen Howie Roseman draft safeties, wide receivers as the big players, always building the trenches in the O-line and the defensive line. He's not a big person in paying cornerbacks or drafting linebackers. 2 things we've learned. Do not pay corners and draft linemen. And don't draft linebackers. That's really what we've seen. A lot of offensive line. But right now I'm going to go with Devin Lloyd. He's the best linebacker available. I think this entire draft he's the best. I mean, I don't really think it's, arguable. Nakobe Dean is very good, but I do think Devin Lloyd is a better player. So I'm going to go with him here. And then with our second pick, back-to-back, many people want a wide receiver. Many people don't. I think it's 100% in play. I don't think it's one of those you need to draft a wide receiver here. I think falling into the second round might be a better option, but I think it's possible to go here. I'm not going to. I'm going to give them Ahmad Gardner, Sauce Gardner here, who everybody's mocking to the Eagles. Everybody thinks he's going to draft to the Eagles. I think it would be a great pick. He's kind of similar to, not the play style, but J.C. Horn of last year. Everyone was like, oh my god, the Eagles are going to get J.C. Horn not late in the first round, but we had our first round pick last year. Everyone was like, he's going to go there, and then the Eagles ended up moving up, and things happened. But everybody had J.C. Horn going to the Eagles, and then he obviously went earlier than even anticipated. But he got injured this year, but he's a good player. Here with the not third round pick, our third first round pick, I'm gonna go with an interior offensive lineman, assuming one is available. They are not available. None of those players I think are good enough to be picked here. I think Trayvon Walker in this, they have him ranked 34. I think that's way too low. I think he'll 100% go in the first round. I think he deserves to. He's very good. I don't know why, and some things on NFL Draft Network I kind of don't agree with a lot of times. I'm not the most talented or most knowing football guy ever, but I seem to think I like to think I have a little knowledge. And sometimes on here they have people ranked very low that I don't think is realistic. Trayvon Walker, so I'm going to go with very good defensive end or edge rusher out of Georgia. The Eagles need an edge rusher. I don't want anybody to say we don't. Derek Barnett's gone, hopefully. Josh Sweat's very good, but he's not stellar. We kind of need that Josh Sweat and guy. We need that other guy. Fletcher Cox is on the interior, but he's getting old. Javon Hargrave even is getting up there in age. He's like 29, I believe now, 28 maybe. Milton Williams looked good, but he's not really an edge guy. He played the edge a little bit. He played a more defensive end than I anticipated, but he's not that edge guy. You kind of need that real edge rusher. Trevor Walker, I think, can be that. Coming into the second round here, I think you're going to see the Eagles go with a tight end. Right here, I'm going to give them Trey McBride, who I do believe is the better player than Jalen Weidermeyer. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how to say that. Can I be real? I think Trey McBride is the better player, though. I don't know what they have mocked here as. They have him a second round value. I think that's right. Everyone's going to say the Eagles have Dallas Goedert, but they don't have that other guy. You don't have that second guy. The Eagles run a ton of twin tight end sets. They did last year. Maybe even not enough. Like when we had Zach Ertz, the team, they didn't run enough of them, but we still ran quite a few. We need that second tight end bad. Dallas Goedert has that drop problems, but still is in that top 6 to 7 tight end range. He could be a top 5 if he would catch the ball. But I think we need that second tight end, and I don't think it's unrealistic to see him go with Trey McBride here, which is what I'm going to do. Coming into the third and the later rounds, you're either going to see a lot of offensive linemen or a lot of defensive linemen. Howie, like I said, loves the trenches, and I think we need to build them up a little more. We have to get that depth at defensive line. We thought we had it. We keep bringing in guys. Marlon Tuipulotu, he didn't look that good last year, which is fine. He was a 6th round pick. Taron Jackson looked fine. Patrick Johnson didn't play a ton. Josh Sweat's good, obviously we know that. Javon Hargrave had a stellar season. But I do think we need to work up the defensive line on the interior. There's none available here that I would go with, but I think that's a big in play around here. Interior offensive line I also believe is in play. Wide receiver at this point, I think you could see. I would love to get Justin Ross, a player that without injuries goes in the first round. He 2 years ago, a year ago, he didn't declare last year, but if he had, he was probably going to go in the 4th round. He moved himself up a little bit. He has progressively went down and up in the ranks. You saw him as a top wide receiver in classes before, but with the injuries and his lack of playing, he's a risky player to take. But if you get that potential in there, if you get that player you want, he is outstanding. And I'm going to pick him here to be a wide receiver 2 alongside Devonta Smith, and then hopefully having Quez Watkins rotate in and out of that slot and outside look. A very fast guy who I think is a more of a slot wide receiver or more of a outside wide receiver than a slot wide receiver, but can play both. And I think I'm going to have Quez Watkins in that 3rd slot, have Justin Ross on that right side, and then Devonta Smith as that main wide receiver over there. Here I'm going to go with an interior offensive line. I'm assuming there's one available. The Eagles, like I said, I've said it 1,000 times now, need to build up that offensive line, need to build up that defensive line. Cole Strange here, I know nothing about him, I'm going to be honest. I haven't watched a lot of him, but I do go off of a little bit of what I see on here. There's a lot of players I know a lot about in here. There's a lot I know nothing about. He's one of the players I don't know much about, so I'm going to trust what the NFL mock draft is telling me, or NFL Draft Network is telling me. Here we're going to go with a player I do know, Reed Blankenship, who I thought last year could have declared and would have been a great pickup for the Eagles. I had him mocked a couple times last year. He's not, I don't think he'll ever be a number 1 top superstar safety, but I think when you're drafting somebody in the 4th to 5th rounds, you're looking for that good bridge guy. You're looking for that guy that's just going to help you out. And Reed Blankenship is 100% that guy. He's going to play in the box a little bit. He's going to play over top a little bit. He's kind of versatile in that way. Is he super fast? No. Super athletic? No. Is he going to be able to cover? Yes. Those are the important things. So you have a safety. Coming into the 3rd round, or coming into the 5th and 6th rounds, I still have not gotten an offensive lineman, really. I mean, you look at the board right now, and, we got Cole Strange later in the rounds, but I haven't gotten anybody else. And the board is just not working out in my favor. Had there been Tyler Lindenbaum in that 1st round, I would have picked him 100%, but he wasn't available. I think you could go running back, 100% running back and play, but I'm going to see if there's any interior line. Yep. We're going to go with Matt Henningsen out of Wisconsin here. I do actually know things about him because, like I said, some of these players in this class I know some about. Some players I know nothing about. Some players I know way more about. Treylon Burks I know a lot about. Don't ask why. I've watched a lot on that, Arkansas wide receivers for some reason. But he looks amazing. I hope the Eagles get him, but I don't think they will because the Eagles are not looking to draft a wide receiver in the 1st round, in my opinion. I mean, they might, can't really predict it, but I don't think they will. Coming into the next round, I believe this is one of the Eagles' last picks, if not the last pick. I'm going to give them a running back. Uh, I have my arguments about this, about the way they have this ranked. I think Zamir White is the better pick out of any of these wide receivers now, or wide receivers, running backs right now. Fantastic player to Georgia. I mean, you saw them win the title. I'm going to give them the Eagles Zamir White right here. Amazing player. I think to compliment Kenny Gainwell, Miles Sanders maybe if he sticks around, but really Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott if he's around still. Jordan Howard's getting up there in age. He won't be around too much longer. But I think getting that running back to kind of rotate in there alongside everybody else is going to be a good pickup. Here you see a lot of running backs available still. I'm gonna go with Kyler McMichael out of North Carolina. Good player, lengthy. He's gonna be a good, kind of rotate him in. Zach McPherson type of role. Try to get him those minutes in the preseason. Maybe build him up to that fourth, fifth corner, maybe third. You're not gonna see him come in and be a number one or number two wide receiver or cornerback. You're gonna need to build him up there. I think having Sauce Gardner, having Darius Slay there, the two players that are obviously very good. Maybe Steven Nelson even kind of help him out, grow him into that maybe starter at a point. Right now, I don't see him being a starter, but I think at one point you could. Um, I would like to get the Eagles an offensive lineman again. Uh, Assuming there's any available that I think are fit here. Chris Owens out of Alabama. You're getting an Alabama player. You already know what you're getting out of Alabama. They're gonna. It's rare to see Alabama players fail in the NFL. I mean, you obviously see some. Alex Leatherwood hasn't looked amazing at offensive line, um, but it's rare to see those players really fail out. I mean, Trent Richardson, obviously. You have various players throughout, but you don't really see those players fail. And I think drafting a late offensive lineman for the Eagles makes sense, and especially now when you have one right in your face that's very good, and everyone has seen him play. It's not like he's come from a small school. Everyone's seen him play. That's what's important here. You got to get those players that, just like Jordan Mailata in the seventh round a couple years ago. Nothing about him. Nobody knows anything about him. He comes in, he becomes our starter left tackle. Huge contract extension, amazing player. Chris Owens, will he be that? Probably not. Is it possible that we could have an injury to Landon Dickerson or Jack Driscoll and he could come in and play those guard spots? Absolutely. And I think that's what's important. You got to get that depth there. Just like when we drafted Jack Driscoll in the fourth round a couple years ago, we were kind of helping build it up. And after 3 years now, he's become a starter. And you look at it and you're like, wow, like we built him up there because Jeff Stoutland is an amazing offensive line coach. And having these players help him out, having these coaches help him out, I think could build him up. Um, Looking at this draft, I'm curious what you guys think about it. Leave your comments below if you think this is a good one. I do think the first three picks here are ideal. These are amazing picks in the first. I think Trey McBride is going to be a controversial one. I don't think many people think the Eagles would go with tight end in the second round, but I really do think it could happen. Justin Ross again, probably a little controversial. Then you come into here, you have Reed Blankenship. I don't think many people are gonna hate that. Another corner later on, Chris Owens, I think is very good. Zamir White, I think is ranked way too low on these draft boards, but another good player. A lot of people aren't gonna like the fact that drafted a running back because people think we need to keep Miles Sanders, when in reality I think he's very replaceable. But right now, I think this is one of the best drafts I've done. I've done a lot of these, and I'd like to hear what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. That's gonna be just about it. I'm gonna try to upload maybe every other day, maybe every 2 days. If you guys keep watching them, I'll keep rolling them out. I'd love if you guys subscribed, leave a like on the video, try to bump me up on the, results. Maybe maybe make me go viral. I don't know. Bump me up there. Like it, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, guys. Bye.